What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. Design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have no doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. So I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. The things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. Another day. Fun times. I I'm ready to be done with the week. I don't know. It's just kind of drug on, and like I said yesterday, I'm like madly in love with an airplane, and did a I don't know, 500 and some odd mile flight this morning. Tomorrow, I'll be doing a little bit more than 600 miles, and I'm flying around the outside of the United, or along the edge of the United States. So, flew from Friday Harbor in the state of Washington down to hang on, California, Redwood Coast, Humboldt, I guess, something like that. Little airport down there. Then tomorrow morning I'll be leaving out of the same location, California, Redwood Coast, Humboldt, to Miramar. Actually, I'm going to Miramar, so that'll be where I stop off at. It's a lot of fun, and the intent is the plane is like modeled very, very realistically, the wear and tear, everything. And so that's kind of part of the charm of what I'm doing, is because I'm trying not to break the aircraft, which is not, I didn't start off very well, I can tell you that. We got a little ways away, about to the first waypoint, and all of a sudden my engine started losing power, and I couldn't get power back for nothing, and before all said and done, I was down in the water and dead, and had to start over. So then time number 2, in about the exact same location, doing about the exact same thing, I took another look at my engine analyzer, coupled that with what my instinct was telling me, and that was that I couldn't get air into the engine. Something was stopping me from getting air into the engine. And once I became adamant with that thought, I looked a little closer and I had ice on my carburetor. It was icing up, and so I added a little bit of carburetor heat, melted the ice out of the system. I was back in business. The rest of the flight was uneventful. So anyway, can't wait to get back up in the air in the morning and continue on that flight. It's just really kind of cool. And like I said, I want to do it and see if I can do it without having to fix anything on the plane. Because, if it's modeled correctly, all kinds of little things will make a difference. In fact, I put out that video where I broke a few props. I think the reason I broke those props is because I was running at the engine at an RPM that's a no-no. And I don't know that engine has a no-no RPM, but or the props, don't know. But I was busting props for some damned reason, and I'm sure there was a reason for it. So that was pilot error, I guarantee you. I'm enjoying the coffee. Don't you wish you could enjoy this coffee? It's good stuff. Dog's sleeping. She wouldn't be sleeping if she had some of this coffee. Probably gonna get huffed anytime now. Alright. I suppose I'm here for a reason. It certainly isn't to look pretty. So, don't have a lot. I've got 5 tabs open for you tonight. I looked through, and yeah, I could have put this up or that up, and it just, Huh. Crazy time. Anywho, I was looking at what the article that the show's titled after. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked for a moment. And I was thinking, wow, is something very similar right around the corner for the United States? I can't tell you no. I absolutely cannot tell you no. If there is anything I can tell you, is that it is absolutely not no. I would say there's a fairly good chance at either martial law or some type of Operation Clusterfuck in order to re-invoke the mail-in ballot bullshit and everything that goes along with that. Now, I'm not saying they'll succeed, but I think they'll try. Possibly, we've all heard scuttlebutt, if you will, about pre-positioning of troops and equipment here in the United States domestically. Is this the unrest that they could be getting ready to quell? Could it be because they're going to announce some type of election tomfoolery like before? I really don't think that the American people are going to have it this time around. I really don't think so. Maybe that is what they're... I'm not even 100% sure that this stuff has been pre-positioned and they're getting ready for Jack. But that's word on the street that that's been going on. I can't personally confirm any of it. The people I do know nothing of it. So, that doesn't mean anything. They may just not know of it. At the same time, it could just be typical inventions of boogeymen by the usual suspects. Lord knows we've got plenty of that. No good answers, by the way. I still keep asking the same question. How are you going to get the machines going? And they can't answer that. I mean, it blows my mind. Here I am, a news channel. Right? Our focus is news, information. I can tell you how to get the machines going. The prepper channels can't tell you how to get the machines going. And they're doing news. That's the most messed up, backwards, upside down BS that I think I've ever seen or heard. If they can't tell you, or if they don't have somebody in their crew, I'm not telling you that every single person on the planet needs to know this. But you damn well better have somebody in your crew that knows how. Somebody. Because if you don't get those machines running, you are screwed. With a capital S. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. I wrote a post tagging Magic Prepper right before the show because of a video he put out today. Oh, he's all upset by the people saying that, hey, Leo, what's up? He's upset for the people saying that, you know, SHTF never happens and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, of course, he has to pimp his sponsor during the video, of course, because he cares about the people. That's why he's making a video talking about how emotionally upset he is over the fact that some people are calling him out for being a doomer and gloomer, and it's not fair that people call him out for being a doomer and gloomer because someday something's going to happen. Someday he's not going to be able to get the streak put in his hair. Holy shit, what a day. No. I'm talking about Magic Prepper. The machines I'm talking about are the machines that's going to help produce and transport goods and items such as food. We got to get the tractors going. We got to get the, combines going. We got to get the grain trucks going. We got to get the semis going. We got a whole lot of shit to get going, and if we don't know how to get it going, I guess we're just pretty screwed. The problem is the answer's been there since World War fucking II. But you can't get these fucking prepper channels to talk about it because they can't make $1 from you about it. They're not interested in saving your lives, folks. And, Magic Prepper once talked about being pissed off. Bitch, you don't know nothing about being pissed off. Nothing. Motherfucker. I am so sick and tired. And then you got another cat out there that's doing everything he can to funnel that trafficking money into him because, oh my God, there was a movie that's getting attention and people are starting to send their money to people that are actually doing shit, not people that are still talking about doing shit while they continue to buy all kinds of heavy equipment. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And not a damn one of them can tell you how to get the machines going. I'm not saying I'm a god for knowing. I'm saying that I am an educated human being with the intention of trying to save people's lives. I don't give a fuck about the money. I don't give a fuck about the fame. I don't give a fuck about the streaked hair. Will you motherfuckers start telling people how they can save lives? I'm sorry, it's pissing me off to no extent. They, for the life of them, can't stop their bullshit ego trip ignorance and realize that SHTF is much bigger than them. It's much bigger than their show. It's much bigger than their subscriber count, than their video views, than their monetization. It's much bigger than all of that. You're talking about the ability to save thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of lives if you shut your fucking mouths and open your ears for a little bit. And then maybe you do a good job of repeating the information that the companies give you to pawn their products on people. Maybe you can take the information that I've said about here millions of times, the FEMA gasifier PDF. Google it, FEMA gasifier PDF. Just Google it, get it. If you don't know how to work with engines, if you don't understand anything about what that's trying to tell you, find somebody in your group of people that does understand it and have them getting on it stat. Not one, not two, however damn many you need. If we're going to talk about saving lives, I think this window of opportunity is slamming shut really damn fast, and I think we better get serious about it. I didn't create this. Again, it was done in World War II. I just got enough common sense to look for answers to problems, not just try to become popular and make money. I want people to live. And in order for people to live, that means people have to eat. In order for people to eat, that means we have to produce enough food for those people to eat. We cannot do that without the machines. Let me repeat. We cannot do that without the machines. And I don't hear a damn single prepper channel. I don't hear Bear Independent. He's too busy trying to scam money. I don't hear Magic Prepper. I don't hear Pinball Prepper, Angry Prepper, you name it Prepper. They'll all talk to you about social bullshit going on. But they're not even remotely interested in how you're going to eat past the food that you stored up that many of them made commissions on. They won't even take it that next step. They won't even talk about that next step. And I question why. And what's even more evil than that, why the fuck would you shut somebody up that is trying to do that? Every single one of you egotistical pricks have just shoved me to the side like I'm some fucking idiot. I get complete dumb fucks like Angry Prepper. Dude's not smart. He's not. It's a fact. It is what it is. It's not my fault. I'm not in control of his self-discipline and motivation and desire to learn. I'm not in control of that. That's on him. All I can do is recognize it, look at it with a sober, logical mind, and say, okay, that's not who I want to model myself after. He actually made a comment in reply on one of my posts I tagged him in, talking about how I can't even complete a sentence. Oh, really? That's pretty damned interesting. Perhaps he should take a stroll and look at my Grammarly reports that comes in. Might learn a thing or two about the Watchman. I want to help. That doesn't include pandering. That doesn't include feeding my ego. That doesn't include making money. That doesn't include... It doesn't include a whole lot of stuff. And more and more as time goes by, I start to question, is me getting the word out about gasification? Is that what my purpose is? Because holy hell, I feel like Moses about now. I don't know. I wish one of them would sit down and have an honest frickin' discussion. A single honest discussion. Because I don't think that they really believe in SHTF. Because if they did, if they truly firmly believed in SHTF, they'd be concerned about how they were going to get those machines going. They never talk about it. And the reason why they never talk about it is because they don't have a plan. You can't tell me that that's something that's information they're withholding for OPSEC, because that doesn't even make sense. Most of them never even thought about it. They haven't even went that far, but yet they've come to YouTube and they've made entire channels based around preparedness. But then take you a mile away from the bus stop and drop you off. That's bullshit. That's truly bullshit. I've been into preparedness way longer than before I started this YouTube channel. I've been in preparedness way longer than I started watching preparedness channels on YouTube. When I started into preparedness, my very beginnings of starting into preparedness, there was no YouTube. So, unlike the Johnny-come-latelys, I've had a few days to think about this stuff. Again, not here to wow, not here to pander, not here to please. He sent me here to give you all information, and that's what I do. Anywho, I guess we'll get to the news. Yeah, and that's just it. Leo, like you're saying, eventually you're going to run out of the food. No matter what, you're going to run out. No matter what, you're going to have to start producing food on a much more mass scale than what people can do with their hands. At that point, people either starve or they figure it out. And man, I'll tell you what, that would suck. You want to talk about a slow death, starving to death, and that would suck. Sitting there busting your ass, doing everything you can to produce enough food to keep you and yours alive, and slowly falling behind, and slowly having people in your group dying away. And there was nothing you could do because you didn't have the knowledge of how to get the machines going. You didn't have the knowledge of how to get the machines going. And just as a little bit of a reminder here, Hosea 4:6 says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children." You understand the weight of those words? See, there's two books that, in my opinion, you want to try to get into. Alright, the book of life. Are you alive? Were you born? Well, you're in the book of life. Now, there are things you can do to no longer be in that book of life. One of those things is rejecting knowledge. It says it right there. I will also forget thy children. Book of life, gone. See ya. And then there's the book of works. Now, just because you're in the book of life doesn't mean you're going to make it in the book of works. The difference is the people that make it into the book of works gets to go live with the Father. The rest that make it into the book of life and make it into heaven, that's wonderful. That's beautiful. But I want to go to battle for the Father and with the Father. And I want to be by his side. So in that case, I have to be in both the book of life and the book of work. See, when you really get down to the nitty-gritty of it, you realize that some of these YouTube ministries, pretty big con. Because I don't believe you can be a ministry and even mix things like money. Why would I say that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it has to do something to do with Jesus walking in and flipping some tables over and chasing some people with whips. See, you get people try to convince you that, oh, no. They were talking about selling in church. They were talking about selling in church. No. Where's our temple that we all meet? Oh, wait, we don't have those things no more? We have, like, churches, but we don't have, for the most part, temples in... Interesting. Well, Jesus seemed pretty upset by all of that. And, considering that word, meaning we aren't supposed to involve money with the Father, is still in full effect, that means that ministries, churches, are not to seek money. Period. End of discussion. They are not to seek money. If somebody wants to quietly, privately, donate some money, that's upon themselves. But if you want to fulfill the Father's request about tithing, oh, that's not money. That's time. That's labor. Nowhere in the good book does it tell you that tithing is money. That's an awful cheap way to treat the Father. Awful cheap way to treat the Father. Tithing is works, ladies and gentlemen. It's not money. Money does not count as tithing. There's only one thing that can count as tithing, and that's you. Your time, your blood, sweat, and tears. That's tithing. It's basically a way to get all the brothers and sisters to help one another out. Because when people do that, when people spend 10% of their time helping other people out achieve their goals, everybody succeeds. Kind of a little bit of a different culture than what we find ourselves living in today, I know. Not my fault. I didn't do it. But I can read that book and I can understand the words and I can comprehend them and I can fully get a grasp of the way we're supposed to be living. I can get a pretty good grasp of the things that, oh hell no, we aren't supposed to do. And I've got a pretty good grasp of what it means to serve the Father. And it's not being rose-colored glasses. It's not about being prim and pretty and proper and... Nah. I am not the cat the Father would have picked for that. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Been a hell of a ride. My 51 years. Hell of a ride. I honestly don't know if I could change it, if I would. I think I would. I think I would. There are some things that I would rather not bear. Like not seeing my kids. That sucks. People want to talk about being obedient to the Father. That typically means sacrifice. YouTube ministries don't seem to be sacrificing a whole lot, do they? With that, I'll get started on the news. Zelensky uses martial law to avoid election. And again, I'm concerned that we could have something like this pop up. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky on Wednesday proposed to extend the state of emergency, thereby effectively canceling the parliamentary election scheduled for October. Zelensky announced martial law on February 24, 2022, and has been extending it ever since. The most recent 90-day extension was announced on May 20th and is due to expire on August 18th if the Verkhovna Rada approves Zelensky's latest request. This will see the emergency extended through November 15th. Ukrainian law calls for parliamentary elections no later than October 29th, with a 60-day campaign season starting on August 28th. However, it also forbids campaigning and voting during martial law. Another extension would cut into the campaign season for the presidential elections currently scheduled for March 2024. If we have martial law, we cannot have elections. The Constitution prohibits any elections during martial law, Zelensky announced in May. The following month, he told the BBC that elections need to happen in a time of peace when there is no fighting. Some of Ukraine's supporters in Europe and North America have been critical of the possible cancellation of elections. Ukraine should prepare for a vote as soon as possible. Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, or PACE, head Tiny Cox said in an interview in May. Although democracy is far more than only elections, I think we all agree that without the elections, democracy cannot properly function, Cox said at the time. So, it's crazy, huh? Oh, well, I don't know what's Tiny exactly, but his name is Tiny Cox, so you'll have to use your imagination. That's when you know you picked the wrong friends. When your last name is Cox and your friends nickname you Tiny, you should probably get different friends. You got and then following up with this headline, Ukraine begins main thrust of counteroffensive, says the New York Times. I wonder now what Tiny Cox has to say about the main thrust of the counteroffensive, because holy hell. Hang on, got news. I gotta get shared it out. So it'll be there when we get there. Share it out on X. X. What are we supposed to call it, by the way? Is it now, are we supposed to call it X, or are we still supposed to call it Twitter? I think that's the dumbest damn thing anybody could ever have done. Elon Musk, you are a freaking moron. Oh, X. So we are supposed to call it X. Okay, I'm going to X you, brother. I'm going to X you. I'm going to X your question. Is he just trying to... Is he trying to, like, mutate from Ebonics to Caucasianics or something? I'm going to X you a question. I'm going to X you a statement. Holy hell. Telling you. The complete documentary I can't even speak. The complete documentary of Idiocracy will give it a few more years. Let's see. A New York Times report has claimed that nearly 2 months after Ukraine launched its long-awaited counteroffensive against Russian forces, that was when she said, "Is it in yet?" Kiev has begun the main thrust of the operation. Yeah, because she's like, "Is it in yet?" And Zelensky's like, "Holy hell, I'm like balls deep." And so now we're going to do the main thrust of the operation by deploying thousands of troops that had previously been held in reserve. Ukrainian officials have told U.S. officials that the enlarged Ukrainian force Why? Father, why? And then other words just change, right? Because it changed from like enlarged Ukrainian force would try to advance south through Russia's minefields and other fortifications. What? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, they're going to do their big push now. So, listen close. You might hear her moan. Oh God. I gotta move on. Oh shit. Now we're talking about big packages. Damn. When U.S. announces another big financial package for Kiev. Well, I mean, when you hire people with names like Tiny Cox, you gotta pay for the big packages, I guess. I don't know. What the hell is a dude doing with a golf hat on? Do you see this dude? What the hell is this dude thinking? Oh, I know we're getting ready to go blow the shit out of some people, but I would like a round of golf. All right. Pentagon has announced another security assistance package for Ukraine worth $400 million, including air defense and anti-tank missiles. Anatoly Antonov, Russia's ambassador to the U.S., called the decision beyond morality and common sense. According to a statement released by the Defense Department on Tuesday, the new batch of U.S. military aid features additional munitions for Patriot and National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile Systems, or NASAMS, Stinger anti-aircraft and Javelin anti-tank systems, HIMARS missiles, as well as artillery and mortar rounds. It also contains 32 Stryker armor personnel carriers, Hornet drones, and other military equipment. Antonov blasted the decision, saying the actions by Washington, which continues to pump its Ukrainian puppets with weapons, are beyond morality and common sense. He claimed that while Washington seeks to portray itself as Kiev's selfless benefactor, in practice it only strives for more human suffering and deaths. I would agree. The Russian ambassador accused the Americans of sponsoring the terrorist plans of the Kiev criminals, including a drone strike on the Crimean Bridge earlier this month that killed a married Russian couple and injured their teenage daughter. How many more American Bradleys must burn for the U.S. leadership to finally realize that attempts to defeat our country on the battlefield will lead to only one thing, the inglorious defeat of the Russophobes, he said. So, you're going to continue to see that get worse and worse. Got a lot of traffic going by. If you hadn't noticed, it's the county fair. So, and we live about, driving distance. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we quite live a mile from the fairgrounds. Maybe close to it. Maybe about a mile. I don't know. I don't know if it's quite a mile. I don't know. I'll have to fly the drone there and look. I don't know. I could actually look at drone video and tell you. So, oh wait, no, I didn't fly that far. No, never mind. I didn't fly that far. Where's the FAA, bastards? The squirrel flew it that far when he got a hold of the controller. Communists propose Russia leaves IMF and World Bank. Communist, you say? Hell, I think that everyone should look at leaving IMF and World Bank. Everyone. You don't got to be a commie to have common sense. I just saw that headline. I thought it was awful interesting. The communists are proposing this, huh? Interesting. Oh, wow, yeah, I bet you are sore, man. I haven't been swimming in, like, forever and then some. It's been a long damn time. Dude, that would tear me up. One thing that really sucks is my favorite way to swim was underwater. And now, because of COPD, I can't do that. It kind of sucks. Because I really, that's something I always loved to do. It's push off the side of the pool, get going as fast as I frickin' could, and swim as far as I could until I had to come up for a breath. I don't know why, that was always my favorite thing to do, swimming. Egypt pushing for new economic world order with Russia. Russia and Africa have enjoyed a partnership since Soviet times and should now push for a new economic world order to challenge U.S.-led Western hegemony. Nuran El-Sheikh, a professor of international relations at Cairo University, told RT on Tuesday. The dominance of the dollar in the global financial system, which was put in place by the U.S. after World War II to rule over the world economy, is unprecedented, she argued, while speaking on the sidelines of the Valdai Discussion Club. It's important for Africa to liberate ourselves not only from colonization, but from a new form of colonization, from the dollar, from SWIFT, from all those measures which posed many difficulties for our cooperation. El-Sheikh said that a shift away from the dollar and euro will encourage our cooperation and urged for more Africa-Russia trade to be conducted in national currencies, saying that everyone would benefit from gaining independence from Western financial instruments. Touching upon the Black Sea Grain Initiative, the professor claimed that African nations didn't benefit from the deal, which had been designed to alleviate hunger in poor countries, but in reality ended up serving the interest of European countries and other rich nations. She pointed out that of the 33 million tons of grain exported, only 3% of it actually reached poor countries. Russia withdrew from the agreement last Monday, complaining that the U.S. had failed to keep its promises to lift some of the restrictions imposed in the wake of Moscow's military operation in Ukraine, including reconnecting its banks to SWIFT, opening a key ammonia pipeline, permitting imports of agricultural machinery and parts, and unblocking transportation insurance, among other logistics issues. So it says, at the same time, El-Sheikh praised Russia's move to send grain and fertilizers free of charge to African countries, as well as its decision to write off $25 billion in African debt. So, you see both Russia and China investing a lot of money into Africa. A lot. We got some interesting times ahead. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. Because when I look at this stuff, I can't help but see it strategically. That's the way my brain works. And I'll tell you what, we are so far from where we need to be a what you would call a sustainable nation. And war aside, and when I say that, what I mean is I'm not talking about the shortages caused by war. I'm not talking about the death, the famine, the disease, I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about the stoppage of imports alone. Even without all the other stuff that comes with war, the stoppage of imports alone would put us in such a bad position in this nation. Many would die. If imports from China stop today, there would be massive loss. We've done virtually nothing. After everything with the COVID nonsense, and there was that little bit of a wake-up call that, oh, holy hell, we don't make this stuff. Now it seems people are already back to sleep. Folks, we are being handed over. Those in our leadership are handing our asses over. Make no mistake of that. The only damn country that's involved in all this nonsense that isn't telling its people to get ready. They don't want you prepared. Exactly. Antibiotics. How important are antibiotics? I mean, that's insane importance. Think of the amount of deaths from the lack of antibiotics alone. People would be dying from the silliest things because of infections and stuff like that. It would be insanity. Let's see. Indonesia invokes anti-porn laws against rebranded Twitter. Not quite sure what all that's about, but IMF issues cryptocurrency warning. Let's see. Russian media outlet editor forced to flee EU nation after threats, says Moscow. Russia explains how Black Sea deal can be restarted. I don't know, something going on about mutiny in Nigeria coming out of AP right now. Let's see. Major Swiss bank closing accounts of Russians. Russia bans fish imports from West. U.S. tacitly endorsing Ukraine's anti-church crackdown, says Moscow. Did I say that wrong? Tacitly? Is that how you say it or not? Tacitly. Tacit. You know what we got to do. Google? Google. How do you say tacitly, please?
Tacitly.
Aha! Look at that. One more time, Google.
Tacitly.
Thank you, Google. Ah! X, knock it off. Hey, that kind of comes in handy now, doesn't it? Alright, let's see. U.S. government issues warning to its citizens in Ireland. Ukrainian-controlled drug lab busted in Moscow region, says FSB. One, let me turn that audio back down so you don't have a buzz, because that's the wrong kind of buzz to have. Ukrainian-controlled drug lab busted in Moscow region, says FSB. I think I said that already. Maybe I like that headline. Yuan squeezing out dollar in China's bilateral trade. Let's see. Russia IT boss sentenced to 14 years for treason. West can't agree on training Ukrainian F-16 pilots, says Politico. Majority of Israelis fear civil war, says poll. Russia-China visa-free travel scheme imminent, says Moscow. IMF raises Russian GDP outlook again. Russian and North Korean defense chiefs hold historic talks. French intelligence knew of Wagner mutiny plans, says L'Opinion. British bank chief resigns over Farage scandal. Court torpedoes Hunter Biden's criminal plea deal. U.S. launches diplomatic blitz in South Pacific. Dozens dead and thousands evacuated as wildfires ravage Europe, says media. Ukraine officially claims responsibility for terror attack on Europe's longest bridge. Russian military repels massive Ukrainian offensive, says Defense Ministry. Meta fined over privacy violations in Australia. West using dollar as weapon, says Putin. Afghan Taliban official calls for banning neckties. Okay then. NATO member spurns American tanks. Asian country expects record number of Russian tourists in 2024, says media. Big Tech unveils platform to promote safe AI. Kevin Spacey acquitted on sexual assault charges. I know you're all surprised. West afraid of the truth about Ukraine, says Russian diplomat. Saudi fighter jet crashes near Yemeni border. And lastly, West pressured African states ahead of St. Petersburg summit, says Kremlin. That's what I've got. I know it's not a lot, but at least it's a thought. I need to quit trying to rhyme all the time. It's not making me a dime. I need to stop. Even if that means a 2x4 upside the head. Where's Dad when I need him? Anyway, I am going to get the hell out of here and go to bed so I can wake up in the morning and get inside of this very cute, tight, gorgeous airplane and flies 600 and some odd miles. Hells to the yeah. I can't wait. Anyway, I am out of here. I hope you all have a good evening. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I don't crash and die. And I'll see you again. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.